Hey, this is Russ. I'm trying something a little bit different today. You probably noticed I have cameras going forward and also cameras facing me. Now, what makes this different is the fact that I actually have the cell phone mounted on the cell phone mount on the handlebar. So the angle is a little bit different. You're kind of looking up at me. And I'm also shooting this vertically. I don't usually like taking videos vertically because, quite frankly, videos are a horizontal thing. Your television isn't vertical, is it? It's horizontal, right? But of course, a lot of people shoot videos vertically because their phones are vertical. Sometimes you can't convince people to shoot it correctly. So I'm shooting this vertically because that's how it's mounted on my handlebar. I think it works out pretty good. The only thing is you get a shot up my nose instead. So, yeah, the other way, we had the selfie stick mounted onto the basket in front of the bike, and then that selfie stick was sticking up almost like 2 feet tall, and it kept bouncing and everything to making it hard for me to keep it in control. So I felt it wasn't as good. And it's a little dangerous to have to keep adjusting that thing while you're riding your bike. So I figured I'd try it this way. It doesn't seem too bad. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at you guys right now. Just looking at the cell phone. I can see myself. Yeah, you can see the Fisherman's Life sweatshirt too that I always wear. Today's a little bit cold. It's just about 50 degrees. But the wind is not so bad, although you probably still hear wind because we're moving forward. But the actual blowing wind, if you're stopped, is very little. So I figured, yeah, okay, it's colder, but it's not windy, so that doesn't make it feel as cold, but it's still cold. So anyways, I wanted to address a couple different things. Now, I had some comments on the last video that I made with riding. Okay, and of course by the time you guys see this, you probably would have already seen a couple other videos beforehand, because I make a couple of these videos in advance because I do go riding as much as I can, and I usually record it while I'm out there. Anyways, a couple of people commented asking me why don't I take the trails that are adjacent to the paved trail, because the RadRover is actually made to go off-road. Well, I don't really want to do that. I mean, you got to remember too, I still have a bad knee, right? I'm recuperating from a total knee replacement, and if I were to take a fall on that unpaved trail, which is adjacent to this one, that wouldn't be too good. Yeah, I don't need another surgery because I fell off the bike, right? So I'm gonna stick around with the paved trails, the paved paths, because I think that makes it a little bit easier for me, a little safer for me too. Well, look at it this way. The safer I am, the more videos I can make for you guys. So anyways, I wasn't actually going to make a video today because I have a couple of videos already lined up. But hey, I wanted to try this technique of using the cell phone on the cell phone mount. I don't think it's too bad. Yeah, overall, seems to be okay to me. Hopefully it's okay for you. I noticed a lot more people walking around here today, but just a couple of bike guys, not too many. Yeah, I've noticed that this trail tends to be more walkers or runners than bikers. There's the dog. Now, if you watched the other video, you might have noticed that one dog tried to chase after me. Let me tell you a story about that. Now, it's not a story about that dog chasing me. I'm going to tell you a story about another dog that chased me. Now, when I was growing up, we didn't live too far from Wrigley Field. Well, actually, I'll take that back. We did live a little bit of distance from Wrigley Field. That's where the Chicago Cubs are, right? In case you're not familiar with Chicago. But I don't know how many miles away we lived. but it was rideable on your bike. And I might have been in maybe 4th or 5th grade, something like that. And so my brother and I rode our bikes to Wrigley Field. I mean, think about that. Would you let a kid go all the way, let's say at least 5 or 8 miles away and ride their bikes to Wrigley Field? Now, we didn't have tickets or anything like that. We were just going there to ride our bike there and ride back. So anyways, yeah, times have changed. I mean, today, if you did that with a kid, you'd probably be considered negligent of taking care of your kid. And all the things that happen in the world today. Anyways, so we rode to Wrigley Field, and when we were at Wrigley Field, there was this dog. It was a big German Shepherd. Saw us riding our bikes, and of course, what do dogs usually like to do? Chase bikes. So he started chasing after us, and we started riding really fast to kind of get away from that area. But the dog kept coming after us, so we split up. Now, keep in mind, I'm only like a 4th or 5th grader. I didn't really know my way around, and I kind of relied on my brother as far as where we were and how we got there. So somehow we ended up splitting up, trying to get away from this dog. Dog chased after me, and then I remember making a really fast, quick turn in front of a car, and the dog almost got hit by the car, of course, and that was enough to scare the dog off. Of course, I could have probably gotten hit by the car too. But when a big dog's chasing after you, you try to get away. So then I had to get myself back home, and I didn't really know where I was. So I had to take my best guess as to which way to go in order to get home. So I bopped around the neighborhoods. Of course, nothing looked familiar to me, so I didn't really know where I was. But eventually, I made it back home. Ever since then, I've been afraid of hanging out by dogs and seeing dogs chasing after me. So, yeah, that's my dog story. My bike and dog story. But yeah, I've always been a little nervous about dogs while being on a bike ever since then. Those two people that we passed with the bikes were going up a hill, so I knew that they were going to be struggling getting up the hill, but of course I'm able to pass right by them with no problem. Alright, so the path we're on is the more familiar path. You're all familiar with it. We're going to be doing this more than anything else, I think. Now, it might be a little boring for you to keep watching the same path, but again, like I said, I'm just here to keep you company and tell you stories. And the bike riding is just the fun part of seeing something other than just me. Well, okay, if we continue shooting it this way, where I'm using the cell phone to record myself forward, you see me still anyway, so what difference does it make? I could tell you these stories in the studio, and then you get a green screen of the lake behind me or something. Or you come out on these bike rides with me, and then we could talk while I'm riding. How's that? I think that's better. I mean, you after a while, okay, this stuff is going to look the same to you over and over. And this is the one thing that I have a problem with the biking, because I really can't get to any other places besides these two general areas that I've been to before. And so, yeah, we're kind of stuck doing this. Now, the sad part is, to get to this forest preserve, they're doing some construction on streets of where I need to get to. And of course, I'm riding up on the sidewalks as much as I can to avoid being on the actual streets with the cars, because this is, like a 40 mile per hour zone. But I've got no choice now, because all of that stuff is closed off because of the construction. So I had to ride. I had to ride along with the cars in order to get here. Going back, I'm gonna have to ride back with the cars to get back home. So, yeah, that's not too good. Eventually, maybe my bike riding and skills will be better, and then I might be able to ride on the street a little bit more. And then if that's the case, I can go to different areas and take you guys there too. But like I said before, I live in an area where there's, you see these cars in front of us here. They're going like that speed, like everywhere I go. And to me, that's a little scary. Now, it's not like taking side streets, like you're taking like residential blocks. Those streets, that's not as hard. It's not as scary. But when you're dealing with cars going 40, 50 miles an hour, and you're along the side, you're trusting that the guy sees you and everything. That's a little scary. So, I don't know what else I can do. The other option, of course, is purchase a bike rack, get a hitch, put it onto your SUV, and then drive yourself to wherever it is you want to go. Because, like I said, I wanted to ride Bussy Woods one day, but I can't ride the bike there and ride back and still have enough battery power to ride Bussy Woods. And then besides that, getting to Bussy Woods is again riding with the 40 and 50 mile per hour cars. I don't really want to do that. So really, I think a bike rack really is the only way for me to do it, because this bike is too heavy and too big to actually fit in the SUV easily. And of course, with a bad knee, having to lift something that's 70 to 80 pounds, yeah, it's too much. It's just too much for me to deal with. Maybe as I get better and my knees get better, maybe I would be able to do it, but right now, yeah, I really can't. So we're stuck with this. So I apologize for not being able to take you to more places other than what you see on the same things over and over. But remember too that I'm using this bike to rehab my knee, because I am pedaling most of the time. The only time I'm not pedaling is if we're going up a hill. I use the pedal assist and pedal at the same time. And then whenever I'm a little bit too tired, I'll coast and just use the throttle. So that's how we deal with it here. Anyways, I hope this has been fun for you guys to hear all the stories and explanation of why we're just doing the same paths over and over and over. It's just a part of the way it is. Oh, and also, as you know, the camera will shut itself off after about 16 minutes, I think. And looking at my time clock on the cell phone, we've only got a couple more minutes before that happens. Anyways, keep watching the standard times for biking and fishing, and stuff like that. That will be typically Tuesdays and Saturdays. But again, if I have good stuff to tell you, I might publish something on a Thursday or a Sunday. So you'll have to kind of keep an eye on that, or hit the notifications. When you subscribe, hit the notifications, and then it'll tell you on your phone when there's a new Russ's Right video that's come out. Anyways, I'll call it a day at this point. I'm just rambling anyways. So hopefully you like this. If you like this style of video where I'm sticking a video of me along with the ride, make a comment below. Let me know that you like that. I'll continue doing it. This is easy enough for me to do, really. As long as the cell phone is shot vertically and it's on the camera mount, it's no extra effort for me to do this. All right. Okay. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys next time.